The administration says more than 60,000 government workers have taken the buyout deal. We spoke with one of them who did not want to be identified.
I kind of debated it for the night, and I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And then I finally did respond for resign, and then I just waited.
His email was acknowledged, but since then, confusion and frustration.
And so I thought, okay, well, I'll wait maybe a day or two. I'll hear from somebody, and then nothing. Dead silent. I would go to my computer and check, thinking, well, maybe it's late at night and they're working, and nothing would come and nothing would come. And then I was like nervous.
Sharia Smith says workers should not count on this deal.
I don't trust it at all.
Today, President Trump heaping praise on Musk and his overall mission to cut costs.
Elon Musk is helping us on it, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good at it.
Musk and his team digging into federal agencies over the weekend, taking over USAID, the relief agency that helped an estimated 32 million children suffering malnutrition and brought food, water, shelter, and health care to victims of natural disasters. Tonight, sources tell us USAID's global workforce will soon be reduced from roughly 14,000 people to fewer than 300 employees. An internal email shared with ABC News shows just 12 employees to be assigned to the entire continent of Africa and only 21 to the whole Middle East.
And David, back to those buyouts. The judge will hold another hearing on Monday. The administration insisting tonight that this program has not been blocked or canceled, but layoffs are on the horizon. Health agencies, including the CDC, have been asked to rank their newest employees, David.
Rachel Scott at the White House tonight. Rachel, thank you. Tonight, President Trump defending his proposal for Gaza after declaring the U.S. would own it. The president saying the Palestinians would leave and that Egypt and Jordan would take them in. Tonight, what Egypt is now saying about this, the president saying of the plan, people love it. And tonight, ABC News learning some of the president's top advisors were caught off guard by this. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, tonight.
Tonight, amid growing questions and outrage, President Trump defending his announcement that the U.S. would, quote, own Gaza.
I hope my greatest legacy, when it's all finished, will be known as a peacemaker.
Trump writing on social media the Gaza Strip would be turned over to the United States by Israel at the conclusion of the fighting, after Palestinians were resettled in far safer and more beautiful communities with new and modern homes in the region. What Trump hasn't said, what authority does the U.S. have to take over this sovereign territory? Who would pay for rebuilding? The White House insists it won't be the U.S. And who would ultimately govern Gaza and live there? Trump initially said it was his intention to remove Palestinians from Gaza permanently. The White House then walking that back, saying it would be temporary. The president suggesting Jordan and Egypt would take the Palestinians. But Egypt today completely rejecting that idea, calling Trump's plan a blatant violation of international law, saying Egypt will not be a part of it. The former real estate developer adamant that he can turn Gaza into one of the greatest and most spectacular developments of its kind on Earth without the U.S. military getting involved, declaring no soldiers by the U.S. would be needed. Making the rounds on Capitol Hill, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu backing Trump's plan, which he's called the first good idea he's heard.
Mr. Netanyahu, do you think militaries are needed in Gaza to make President Trump's plan feasible?
No.
The president suggested the plan was long in the works.
Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land.
But tonight we've learned many of his top advisors were caught off guard. Officials at the Pentagon unaware. Some of the president's top allies on the Hill blindsided.
Obviously, Gaza's not ours. It's sovereign. It's part of another country, right? And all that needs to be worked out.
David, the president is leaning into this plan, but his administration is still struggling to explain how this would actually work. And by all accounts, this was not well briefed to officials at the Defense Department or here at the White House, leaving them scrambling to respond. David.
Mary Bruce with us again tonight. Mary, thank you. We turn now to a deadly plane crash overseas. A U.S. Marine and 3 contractors on board have been killed. The plane, contracted by the Pentagon, flying an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance mission when it went down in the Philippines. Witnesses reportedly saw smoke coming from the plane and an explosion right before the crash. Back here in the U.S. tonight, we have disturbing video showing the attack of a priest during a mass in Spokane, Washington. Police say the suspect charging the altar. Here's Kayna Whitworth.
Tonight, frightening moments during a mass inside the Spokane, Washington Cathedral, With hundreds of worshipers gathered, a man suddenly standing up and charging the altar, then attacking one of the priests, trying to punch him in the face.
It's all right, just calm down. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Someone get the security guard.
I thought it was kind of that situation where the guy was just running into the sanctuary, but clearly it was potentially much more violent.
Parishioners and a security guard are seen rushing to the altar, where they hold the man down until police arrived. The priest unharmed.
I must say all of us were pretty shaken. You don't expect to see something like that when you're just gathering together to pray and to worship.
Police arresting 40-year-old Joshua Summers and later charging him with assault. He was seen in court today.
We all prayed for him. We just stopped the service and prayed for him because, again, whatever demons he was struggling with needed to be healed.
And David, tonight Summers is behind bars. Police say he was also wanted for an alleged attack on a worker at a mental health facility in 2023. And David, he'll be back in court later this month.
Yeah, really difficult images. Kana Whitworth tonight. Kana, thank you. There are also new images emerging tonight of the harrowing rescues during the devastating wildfires in Southern California. Take a look. First responders racing through the smoke, flames, and flying embers of the deadly Eaton fire. 17 people were killed, but police and firefighters evacuating the Two Palms Care Center. Some seniors there taken out in their wheelchairs. Rescuers moving through the building carefully, taking seniors out of their beds, getting them to safety as the out-of-control fire closed in. The nursing home with dozens of patients was then destroyed by that fire. Just incredible. Those firefighters are heroes. When we come back here tonight, we remember the 102-year-old owner of one of the NFL's most famous teams. And here in New York City tonight, the gruesome discovery, what was found in a suitcase floating in the East River. The latest on the investigation in a moment. Tonight here in New York City, police are investigating human remains found in a suitcase floating in the East River. A police harbor unit retrieving the suitcase near Governor's Island. Authorities have not yet identified the victim. The medical examiner is now trying to determine the cause of death. When we come back here tonight, the sentencing just moments ago, Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter and the gambling. Well, the sentence just given. And remembering the 102-year-old owner tonight of one of the most famous teams in America. To the index of other news tonight, just moments ago, the former interpreter for Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison for stealing about $17 million from Ohtani to pay off his gambling debts. Ippei Mizuhara pleaded guilty to bank fraud. He says he impersonated Ohtani during 24 calls to the bank. We do have a passing to note tonight. We learned today that Virginia Hollis McCaskey has died, the longtime owner of the Chicago Bears. She took over the team in 1983 following the death of her father, Bears founder George Halas. The team saying every decision she made was based on what was best for the players and the fans. Virginia McCaskey was 102. When we come back here tonight, the mother who has to leave before the sun comes up for work, but her husband and 2-year-old started doing for her. You have to see this. Finally tonight here, the surprise for a mother when she went back to work. Tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina, the surprise gift for a mother already at work. She has to leave before the sun comes up. And suddenly, the message on her phone through the doorbell camera.
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Love you, Mama.
It turns out these messages all began a few months ago when mom Hannah Bell started going back to work before her son Landon, who's nearly 2, wakes up. So Dad George had an idea, a way for mom to see her little boy every morning.
Go ahead, ring it. Say bye-bye, Mom. Bye, Mama. Love you.